Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 5th of December for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you some key strands to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces. Now, of course, we've been in Sagittarius season, and as this week begins, there is still that flavour, the Sun, Mercury and Venus. And Mercury and Venus still very closely together. But we're going to see a change as on Tuesday, Mercury makes its way to the top of the zodiac, the 10th house, very much to do with how we think about our work and how we link to the wider world as it arrives in the sign of Capricorn. But it's going to be joined on Saturday by Venus, and they're going to continue their alliance. This suggests that our people skills and the way that we present ourselves can still be very important in terms of more worldly interactions. But right at the heart of this week, Mars, which has ended that very draining and enervating square with Neptune last week, that comes into play in an exact conjunction with the moon in the sign of Gemini, which is in direct opposition with the sun, with the full moon, and that occurs on Thursday. This is quite a volatile combination, I feel. So we can have very fast moving events, particularly around communications. Also, we may all find ourselves over the next couple of weeks wanting to defend our point of view quite fiercely. Also, some people can just feel enormously restless and want to break out and travel, be more physically active, but it is quite hard to embrace the more nurturing and more emotional energies of the moon in the detached sign of Gemini when Mars in its retrograde is so close to it. And I think, we see a lot of polarization of different viewpoints these days, so expect a lot of that in the following 2 weeks. The good news, however, is that Mars is in a semi-sextile with Uranus all this week. And if we can use our minds and our appetite for learning new skills, it could be a way that we can adopt fresh positions in terms of marshalling our resources. And of course, we're all needing to be much more conscious of the cost of things these days. Also, the Sun is going to be in an opposition with Mars from Tuesday through to the end of the week. So this is not a time to be too impatient, particularly around travel plans, because if we do rush to get to a destination, it's probably something that won't necessarily be to our best benefit. Much better to enjoy the journey and, if necessary, take the more circuitous but more picturesque route, whether metaphorically or actually. But also, as this week draws to a close, the Sun does move into a square with Neptune. So whereas Mars on the other side of the heavens was squaring up with Neptune from the start of October all through November and through the first few days of December, it's replaced on the other side of the heavens by the Sun. So the potential for confusion or amplification of sensitivities is given greater weight as this week draws to a close. Now, before I go on to tell you each of the 12 zodiac sign forecasts, if you would like to understand what year 2023 will hold for you as an individual, and above just the zodiac sign forecast in this broadcast, if you give me 3 pieces of your personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you your forecast for next year, the rest of this year free. But in my special package of 30% off, you can also get your life map. This is your character analysis to help you to understand the core energies that are at the root of your very being. Please see the link below for more. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me, and I'd be grateful if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you're a long-term viewer, thank you so much for all your views. So Gemini, your week commencing the 5th of December forecast really brings into sharp focus relationship matters. And the reason for this is that although your ruler Mercury and also Venus, the planets of related, dive deep and move into house 8, those are asking you this question. It's not what people are saying that really matters, it's what they really mean. So if you read the subtext behind people's actual language and try to understand their true motives. But also the full moon, which occurs in your opposite sign, can make you much more conscious of where you're not happy. And the reason for this is that Mars, the planet of feist, the planet of passion, the planet of assertiveness, although it's shrugged off the rather confusing energies of Neptune, which over the last couple of months may have seen you very unsure about who you could really rely upon, and perhaps even seen you picking up lots of energy in a way which has drained your vitality. Mars is still in a retrograde, but it is in a conjunction with the moon in your sign on Thursday as this full moon occurs. So I feel that if there is something you're not happy about in a relationship situation, you're going to speak your truth in a very powerful way. And also because Mercury and Venus are moving into house 8, house 8 can be brilliant when it comes to business, investments, relationships which really value you. So that actually can be a very positive thing. But if you do feel that your boundaries are a bit blurry or other people have taken you a little bit for granted, I think having Mars conjunct your moon opposite the sun and all of this week from Tuesday just gives you more encouragement to say exactly what you feel comfortable with and what you don't. But of course, Mars in the mix with the moon can make things a little bit volatile. So if someone resists your viewpoint and you both feel very strongly about it, it is possible that there could be a serious disagreement. However, the movement of Mercury and Venus into the sign of Capricorn does bring opportunities, especially business opportunities. If you're born later in the sign of Gemini, Pluto has been in a quincunx with your Sun and potentially some other planets, personal planets, a lot over the last couple of years. And so that's probably at times been a bit difficult for you to understand exactly how to marshal your individual talent with how you get a return on it in terms of finance. But I think the arrival of Mercury and Venus in the sign of Capricorn is actually going to be potentially very good for you. And if there is somebody you're really excited by, who really does make your pulse race, this week could see the transition from just getting to know them a little bit to actually coming into some kind of deeper emotional or even physical contact. The thing with Mars in your sign in opposition with the Sun, it could make you a little bolder. And if you're someone who does tend to run on the shy side or can be reserved when it comes to getting to know people, maybe this will see you push outside your comfort zone.